an African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher.
FBA is I'll give them lineage. I'll give them lineage because they're a lineage-based cult of Tariq Nasheed's.
They always tell black people, hey, well, you don't like it, just go back to Africa. But every time we try to hook up, they sabotage it.
Hey.
Go back to Marcus Garvey. When we tried to hook up with Africa with Garvey, the FBI sabotaged that. Specifically, they sent in agents on Garvey.
A few moments later.
Garvey was really a funny style dude. And they got him up out of here because he was up here meeting with the Klan. They called him a foreign Negro. They knew he was a tether.
I'm sorry. Because it was a thought. No, seriously, it was a thought. It was a thought, and I blurted it out. I did not mean it that way.
I'm fine.
You guys are the worst people amongst us, and you guys are tricking other people who are casually using the FBA, not knowing the root of FBA. They created by xenophobic, hateful, ethno-nationalist white people who created these organizations in order to destabilize black unity.
What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here, and it has come to my attention that I've offended some people who I respect very much. You see, the last video I did was about Justin Pearson in Tennessee winning his primary and moving on forward. In order to make my point, I brought up some people who had things to say about when Justin Pearson had his finger in the face of white supremacists, and the people who had big problems with that and called it a fake acting. Look, you know who it was? It was FBA. It's always them. It's always them. When a black person is doing something to help the community, it's always them to point out why we should negate it because they're a Democrat. I went too far, and I take responsibility. I did not make it clear about the fact that there's a difference between the people who enjoy the term and who believe themselves to be that as a lineage and the movement. So YouTube, it has come to my attention that the reason why we're having this kind of dissonance in our relationship is because we haven't defined the problem. In this video, we're going to define the problem. We're talking past each other, but many times saying the same thing. And until we define this problem, it'll always be that way. You see, the show is FBA versus FBA. Trademark. Foundational Black American is a wonderful descriptor. It actually describes you. FBA is a disgusting white supremacist movement. Right here is the actual website. The website for information on the foundational Black Americans. When I say FBA, this is the one I can look up that's documented. This is the disgusting white supremacist movement. On this site is where it calls people tethers. It finds a whole new racial slur, which is fucking amazing in America. I mean, to act in a place as racist as this, for you to come up with a racial slur that no one else has ever thought of and get people to actually use it that aren't white is an amazing feat. This is the beginning of the xenophobic outrage. You may be FBA, a foundational Black American, but FBA, trademark, the movement, according to its own pages, tether is literally in the literature and the tenets of the movement as defined by its founder. People like aging better than spoiled milk 24. I think it's spelled beautifully. I think it's creative. I absolutely love that. Aging better than spoiled milk 24 was also very upset with me. And I'm just going to read it. No, FBA aren't stupid. The people that latched onto it and made it something it never was is stupid. Wanting to separate from Africa and make a distinction of American-born generationally is not a bad thing. And you can hear the rest down there. I don't even agree with all of it. But I apologize sincerely because I do understand that it is a very separate and distinct lineage of those who descend from slaves here. Unfortunately, when you say the people who have latched onto it and made it something it never was is stupid, it's backwards. It's backwards because what you have turned it into, decent people, is not what the movement is according to its literature and its known definition.
You know, you are a strong advocate for the culture, for Black people in general. Talk to me about the FBA, Foundational Black America. What prompted you to create that? And, you know, that whole thing.
Well, yeah, it's just a name that I came up with, our lineage. I would often use the term Native Black American, but sometimes people thought we were talking about Indians who were mixed with Black. So there was the word Native. So I said, let me get another word in there that makes a little more sense, like foundational Black American.
Yes.
So we are literally Black people who are descended from slaves in America. We are the foundation of this country. There would not be an America without us. And
that is its founder. That's the person who invented the word, the letters, put it together and told you why. He's the one who owns the website. He's the one who has pushed the movement. And throughout this video, I'm going to show you why it's important to remember that. Despite what you call yourself and how you feel about it, I need you to remember this is the fact, and I would never call you out of your name. So I will add the trademark at the end, but not everybody's going to be like me. When they say FBA, they mean all of it, and they don't know that there's a difference. They just don't know. It was a blind spot for me. I'm going to correct it. But also this. Yeah, that disgusting shit right there, that's the FBA, trademarked, documented, defined, and galvanized under the teaching of its founder, even if every individual adds their own uniqueness to how it manifests in their dialogue and their actions. But this disgusting shit right here is daily, every day. Racism, xenophobia, this is FBA trademark. So I sincerely apologize to those who didn't know that this term is not just a descriptor of lineage, but a political movement based on propping up white supremacy and colonization. Yeah. And those who actually care about that matters to them, you'll watch the full video. Because I assure you that if you ask yourself, when did I start using that term? When did I start calling myself FBA? And that may surprise you because you feel like you've always been FBA. It fit like a glove when you heard it. But the term never existed before 2018 and came on the scene coincidentally right at the time of the buildup of the re-election of Donald Trump. And well, actually, that's not a coincidence. I guarantee you. You see, after seeing these racist, dehumanizing, disrespectful pictures and literally inventing new ways to be a xenophobe, and even a new racial slur, which is fucking impressive, to be honest, in this country. And not to mention the obvious grift that accompanies the brainwashing, which is the only thing he uses his gigantic platform for. After this, when I say that FBA trademark is the worst thing to happen to Black people by Black people since Black people, it's because you disgust me. Your existence sickens me. The feeling of revulsion that I feel, comparable to being forced to brush your teeth with a used toothbrush. And the person who used that toothbrush before you was the crackhead down the street only minutes after offering her services to some rando in a rusty pickup truck. Then she brushed her teeth with that toothbrush and then put it back in the holster. And now you're going to put that in your mouth and brush your teeth with it. That's what I think of you. And I don't apologize for shit to anybody who thinks this is what's up. Huh? No. And for those who are asking, why such vitriol? Well, I'm glad to tell you, I'm happy you asked. I've got a few reasons, and I'm going to put them all out for you and everyone else to learn. This is a teachable moment for all of us Black people that want to come together. Number one, the first reason in this essay is going to be because although you claim to love reparations so daggone much, the truth is you don't give a shit about reparations. Not at all. Zero. You're lying to yourself and everybody else. Exhibit A.
Reparations. You know, do you think that we would ever get reparations?
Absolutely. We're going to get reparations. All we have to do is be focused.
Focus? That's it? Focus on what? Focus on what, Tariq Nasheed? What are you focused on? Family? The Heritage Foundation had bills written for Congress to sign since 1985, all the way till yesterday. Do you have a sample bill? Is there a sample bill you can show me that you've been focusing on for the past 10 years? A sample bill, something legally binding, something that you've been working on and you're focusing. What have you been focusing on? I'd love to know.
We can get anything we want to get as foundational Black Americans because we have, as long as we stay focused and codified. During slavery, you had people saying, you never gonna get free. These people ain't gonna free you. Black people were having rebellions all over this country. Florida, they pretty much stopped slavery. The people who stopped slavery was the Black Seminoles down there.
Oh, I got it. You have a rebellion planned. I didn't know that. When? When is it? Tariq, when is it? Where is it? Can I come?
And whatever we put our mind to, we can get taken care of. They say we will never get civil rights. We can never get equal housing and all. We got that.
Who the fuck is we, Tariq? Who is we? We did that? We got that? How? How? FBA? Who doesn't want to vote for anybody ever? How? You're taking the credit for things that were voted for and fought for, while you tell people to stay at home. That's where the Civil Rights Act came from. It wasn't just because they were focused. They just squinted really hard and focused. They did something. They voted. That's where the civil rights came from, and it was a Democratic Party, as much as you shit on them. And I will too, but you never have crap for the other side. That Fair Housing Act, this is a Democratic Party. How? Tell me something. Who are your candidates? Who are your candidates? I'd love to know, so I can vote for them. Are you planning legal action? So anything that you say or do where your ideas will be legally binding, maybe put into law, I would love to help. How can I help you with that? I'd love to see those reparations come to you. And while we're looking at the next Democrat you shit on while taking credit for the bills that he signed and telling your people not to vote for them, do you have transparent fundraising methods, for the resources to withstand the predictably lengthy and hard-fought legal battles that are coming, right? And to have sustained resistance. Any transparent fundraising like that? No? You don't? You trademarked the lineage. That's the transparent fundraising.
So you're saying it's a lineage. Is it a lineage or did you trademark it? Which one?
Yeah, it's a lineage, sir.
How's it a lineage when you trademarked it?
Because all lineages are trademarked. Because all lineages are trademarked.
It's a product.
Because all lineages are trademarked. It's a product.
No, YouTube. All lineages are not trademarked commodities. I don't think I should have to say that. But here we are. You have no candidates for me to vote for. You have no legal team. You have no transparent fundraising to help sustain the fight that you know you're going to need in order to do something like this. And instead of that transparent fundraising, what I find out is you just trademarked the lineage. That's all right. Look, I know you care about reparations, so you have a petition on your site, right? A poll? Anything that shows the galvanizing of people for a specific cause, a petition, a poll, something I could download in a PDF, sign and send back, anything on that website. No, just the trademarked hats. No, you just have this. There's no petition. There's no legal recourse. There's no call to action. Tell me, you have the book. Does this money go to forwarding reparations bills, legal funds, protests, roundtables, events of any kind? Huh? You don't have transparent fundraising. You've trademarked the lineage and your book is on sale on the lineage information site that says explicitly over and over again on the same site that you're not the leader of. This is why I have such disdain. And I'm hoping that the rest of you who don't see that, who didn't know this, who've never asked these questions, because you've never had to, I hope you see that when someone knows all of your problems, but never how to fix them, and when someone knows all the things that you need and deserve, but never how to get them, that's a con man. That's a politician, or that's a cult leader. You choose which one he is. And that's how I know you, Rasheen Turpin, that's how I know you don't give a shit about reparations, Rasheen. You care about the identity of the cult and the identity that the cult gives you under righteous but never actually obtainable banner of reparations. Yeah, you don't want it. You're so sure it will never happen and so comfortable in that plot armor that you've built, Rasheen, that you don't even have to look to see what candidates are running to agree with reparations. You're just sure that they don't exist. In your mind, you know that nobody will ever do it, because if a candidate actually wanted reparations, Rasheen, and they won, you would lose your excuse to do jack shit politically, while still getting to keep the feeling of superiority over the rest of us inferior sheep. So you don't even look. I know you don't look. Ask me how I know. Rasheen? No. Ask me how I know. You don't need Justin Pearson to advocate for reparations before taking him seriously.
Third Eye Open 2 has a question. What is your take on reparations? I believe in reparations wholeheartedly. In fact, I did an entire live podcast focused on reparations with Pay the Tab in Los Angeles. The best person who's written about this that I could find is Ta-Nehisi Coates in The Atlantic in the year, I think it was 2014. He wrote The Case for Reparations. We need to have reparations. But you can see why people are scared of reparations the same way they're scared of black political power.
So reparations, I'm 100% for reparations. I have been for a very long time. For cash, for credit, for check, for credit card, for trust fund.
You never looked. You never cared. You came on here with your full fucking chest, you piece of shit FBA trademark. Huh? You don't give a shit about reparations. You don't even know who believes in it or who doesn't. You don't know who to press. You don't know where to go, where to elect them, where to find them, who would fight for it. You're just okay with typing bullshit and saying that everyone else is the sheep. No, I'm wrong. The truth is, you are a freaking wannabe colonizer, racist piece of shit. You see, for you, reparations equals abortion equals DEI. It's just a word you can use that gives you the excuse to hate on people to make yourself feel better. Isn't that true? What about you, Melvin? Melvin Johnson? Huh? Go home, build your country. Go back home, go to where you came from. Yeah, you're a second-class supremacist. You're already a second-class citizen, and instead of fighting the people who are holding you down, you say, how can I get one of those of my own, please? You sick fuck. You sound like this.
And then I turn around you're gonna be rude, go back to your country. Go back to your country, because he wasn't from here.
Damn. MAGA?
Go back to wherever the fuck you come from, lady. Y'all think you... Hey, tell them to go back where they belong.
Ew. Shitface? Disgusting fucking xenophobic prick. You blackface tap dancing wannabe while holding up white supremacy, you sound like this.
They're not gonna let you on the flight unless you have a
I
mask.
expect to make this flight without this mask. Do you understand, you incompetent? Go back to Mexico where you belong.
Damn, Melvin. It's kind of hard to tell you apart from the most disgusting, knuckle-dragging, red hat-wearing, filthy piece of shit on earth. It's kind of like you are okay with the worst things that the country has done and want to replicate them. You just need a slave of your own. You xenophobic prick. You kind of sound like this.
Run your mouth. Go back to
Listen,
Mexico.
I said, excuse me.
Go back, wherever you're from.
Ew. Gross. You see, your entire cult is based on the worst aspects of the worst racist colonizers who trained you at the end of a whip. Melvin, that's why you're the way you are. 'Cause you want to be just like Massa. It's funny how you have all the smoke for the Democrats, all the smoke for anyone black talking up. The video that you commented on was literally about a black person who wants reparations that you never even thought to ask for because you don't believe in it yourself. You're just sure he didn't because that's what you've always been able to say to make yourself feel better for doing nothing ever but talk shit. Huh? You don't give a shit about reparations. You haven't even found out who actually wants them, so you could back them up. Your couch won't give it to you, dumbass. You don't have any heat for Trump or MAGA. You're helping a white supremacist agenda while he grifts every dollar from you. And by he, I mean Tariq Nasheed. You're paying for the racism twice.
Here's what FBA founder Tariq Nasheed thinks about non-native black people. I'm just going to roll a clip from our previous episode to catch everybody up. Demeaning and exaggerated ways he's depicted immigrants as compared to how he depicts FBAs. Indian working at a gas station, bug-eyed Africans, dirty Africans, crazy Jamaicans, etc. And so if we're talking about a lot more than just the founder of the group, and since many people who comment on the last video were telling me that Tariq is not us, he doesn't represent us, we're not like him, here's what FBAs think about immigrants and birthright citizenship. This is also a freeze frame from our previous video, and we're going to take the time to read through it. Okay, the first tweet says, Tethers said we had no power. They thought the Black American vote didn't matter. Think again. Good luck to you. No more of the I was born here bullshit. This one in the bottom right says it'll go in front of the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, and they'll end birthright citizenship. Good luck. Then the rest of these just say bye-bye Tethers. I don't know if y'all hear yourselves, but it comes off sounding like Black MAGA.
To understand ADOS and FBA, one has to be familiar with their complex interrelationship with the Tantan group. There are strategic implications where the rhetoric and actions of ADOS and FBA, whether intentional or not, align with and potentially advance the broader political objectives of the Tantan group, particularly concerning voter disengagement and reduced opposition to anti-immigrant policies within the black community.
That part, the white supremacist agenda, the same sentiments, the exact same talking points, the reason why you sound like MAGA, you fucking idiot, that you can't see it yourself and you swear you're doing something special for black people by discounting other black people. You swear to God that you are the special Negro. You've forgotten everything that you've been taught. about how injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. So much so that you revel in your own racial slurs that aren't even about race. You believe in this guy. He played you. Melvin, Rasheen, the rest of you dumbasses, you're whores. He's a pimp. You're the hoe. He played you. For this is what he had to say.
It's beautiful over there, man. And the brothers and sisters are so open to us vibing with them and connecting with them.
How do they treat you as an American going over there?
Man, they love us over there. There's a myth that Africans don't like African Americans.
Yeah.
That myth comes from African immigrants coming over here and the white supremacists telling them, don't hook up with those black folks now.
Hey.
Because, you know, whenever we talk about injustices, they always tell black people, hey, well, you don't like it, just go back to Africa. But every time we try to hook up, they sabotage it.
Hey.
Go back to Marcus Garvey. When we tried to hook up with Africa with Garvey, the FBI sabotaged that. Specifically, they sent in agents on Garvey.
A few moments later.
Now, what about Marcus Garvey?
Well, I would have thought that they respected the work he did in America.
Foundational Black Americans got Garvey's ass up out of here. Now, you have an image of his wife, one of his wives. That's Amy, right? The first Amy? Or the second Amy?
That's the second.
Now, you know that second Amy was the first Amy's, one of her best friends. That was her maid of honor at her wedding. That was her roommate. So he was having an affair with the woman in the picture that you have with the first wife. So that shows the character of Garvey. So
he was having an affair.
So that shows the character of Garvey.
So he was having an affair.
Stop there. There's more. Ho. You whore. You stupid idiot. You xenophobic, second-class supremacist. Embarrassment to the race. He's a pimp. Huh? He wrote the book on it for you.
Back in the 70s, the Big New Brzezinski, they put out a paper saying we do not want Africans and African Americans hooking up at all.
A few moments later.
Garvey was really a funny style dude. And they got him up out of here because he was up here meeting with the Klan. They called him a foreign Negro. They knew he was a tether.
He was the keynote speaker at the Marcus Garvey celebration in New York. The keynote speaker.
Because, you know, there were a lot of African revolutions over there in the 60s and 70s, so people were fighting for their independence. Mugabe and all those people getting those white supremacists up out of there. So they didn't want us hooking up with that.
A few moments later.
So, yeah, Garvey was a big, fat, musty tether.
So, if you needed any more proof that he is a pimp and you are a hoe, if you're following him, you have been duped by the pimp, and you're on the corner every time you come out and talk to people. You are doing his job and giving him more money. Yeah, one is you don't give a shit about reparations. You don't. Two is you are fucking MAGA. You are upholding white supremacy and the ideals of colonization and love it so much and lust after it so much that you've become the same thing you supposedly hated while giving money to your pimp that belongs to you, but you don't deserve it because you're a bottom bitch. You know what else? I'll tell you what. Let's examine this message. Let's examine this message left by this FBA botched human experiment. Huh? FBA and proud. Big fist. Get over it. I'll never vote again. Either side. Both the same people. Cope. I need you to understand. I need you to understand how absolutely stupid, imbecilic, and moronic, how backwards and fucking knuckle-draggingly slow that statement is. FBA, I want reparations. Also FBA, I'll never vote for anyone ever. I am at a loss for words at describing the level of ignorance that you purvey here, that you've shown us. Crowns and lessons. Fucking what lessons have you learned? What do you need me to cope for? What am I coping with? The fact that you don't want anything? All you wanted was an excuse to be fucking lazy? Who would give you a crown for anything? You're a failure of a human being. You're a botched human experiment, is what you are. Because only idiots like you listen to you and go, well, that makes sense. It does not. You've lost everything. And are still telling people, don't vote. Get reparations, don't vote. Where's the reparations coming from? Is that a legal structure you're looking for, or a fucking couch cushion? Is it under the couch cushion? Is that where reparations is coming from? Or is it just the black Africans you hate? Is it the new slur you're looking for, you ignorant fuck? I hate everything about you. I hate how you've destroyed the Pan-Africanism, the togetherness of black people that was on the rise. All in the name of a white supremacist organization you didn't even know you were subscribing to. Lastly, because I'm not done, lastly, is the part where you do the actual square root of jack shit to tangibly get the coveted holy grail of reparations. And you constantly praise yourself for doing jack shit. It's a vicious loop of incompetence and foolishness. Let's look at this FBA fuckface here, huh? This troglodyte here, this white supremacist in blackface and tap dancing with sand on the ground here. Hey, Renee, you fuckface, you said it's the train to everywhere. Black people are owed reparations and have the right to their own culture. Fuck, blah, blah, blah. You sound like a tape recorder. Here's the big part. The ADOS and FBA train is growing faster and stronger than progressivism. So now we know that really you're a fucking Republican while they take slavery out of school, while they take down the pictures of the Tuskegee Airmen, and while they bring measles back to Texas and gerrymander the districts, while they get rid of all the Voting Rights Act that I just heard Tariq Nasheed compliment and say somehow he had something to do with. You feel good when you say that. Special. I know. You know the secret knowledge. All those other dumb blackies, they're on the plantation. They just don't know what I know. Yeah, progressive DSA candidates, and even foundational Black Americans that don't just type it in every single comment looking for the same rush that a racist MAGA person gets when they say the N-word to a black friend before punching them off the boat in Mississippi. All of them progressive DSA candidates. And the rest of us, all won seats in Congress. That's the place where, reparations would actually come from, as well as, think about this now, as well as the other 10,000 million other pressing issues that are affecting black people, FBA or not. They won. They're on their way to Congress. Some of them have won their primary, and so they're racing, they're running, so they can get to Congress. Because that's where the reparations come from. The Congress, the State House, the seats, the power. So tell me again about the FBA and ADOS being stronger than progressivism, which makes no sense, because it doesn't even make sense. That's not how words work, you fucking pig. But since you're sending no one to Congress, huh? And you've convinced all of your poor, brainwashed followers not to vote, tell me again where your power is coming from. The only strength you have is on the couch. You fucking animal. The only strength you have is on the couch. And you're lifting the Kool-Aid cup these grifters gave you, talking about some imaginary power that exists under the couch cushions, I guess. Huh? Because none of the people who write the laws and vote on the laws that you need for reparations, none of them have any idea who the fuck you are, because you decided that voting and organizing, well, that was for the dummies. Huh? It's not for the FBA genius like you. Hashtag trademark. The only time you ever acted out, been on the streets, done anything, held an event, a petition, to even just get the signatures needed to start the conversation of reparations. The only thing you fucking ever done was get mad at Ghana when they actually went to the UN and asked for it. While you put a fucking orange, racist, white supremacist in office and clap and give yourself congratulations for it in the process, so you can constantly have some other black person, African or other or tether, to be mad at. Those ones who actually are starting on reparations don't believe in the tenets on that website. And I think that those of you who actually care, those of you black people who are foundational to the existence of this country and the greatness of this country and the culture of this country that I love, I will fight every day for reparations for you. I don't want it. I was born in Jamaica. I'm a citizen here. It was my choice to be one. I believe in the experiment. If it was ever to fulfill its promises, it could be the greatest. And so I fight for it. I sign on the dotted line. And I also fight for your reparations and the grandeur that is a foundational Black American. But I also meet with vitriol, disgust, and almost disbelief at the ignorance. The FBA. Trademark. Fucking idiots. The time to fight is now. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind, the kind that moves. But here's the thing, none of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're gonna pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads, it's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works.